Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Action-packed 3-hour program lined up today in 30 minutes. College football on the docket. Ben Stevens going to join the program. We'll get a couple of best bets on win totals, a conference outright, and a week 1 game that he likes as well. Steve Wiss in an hour. Best bets in soccer coming up. Mike Palm, You Cannot Be Serious. And Rick Venturi, as we'll preview the Colts and a little AFC South with him. Well, back end of the program. A ton, Pauly, of day baseball today. 10 games, in fact? A couple of games in the books right now, a couple of games ongoing. We almost had a no-hitter today. Juan Soto broke it up in the 9th. Otherwise, Gavin Williams would have thrown one.
Great.
Yeah.
They haven't had one since 1981. Can't believe that.
Do you understand how big that is for a fan base? You remember when Johan Santana finally got it for the Mets?
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's right. It's also huge they swept them. It's happened to the Mets here. But absolutely. One out in the 9th. Soto goes deep. That was available 35-1 every day. DraftKings and Will Hill. Will there be a no-hitter? And he was great. And I don't know what's going on with the Mets. All of a sudden they can't hit. And I give Cleveland full marks. Because we sat here last Friday and we said, what a weird series where they're playing the Twins. And Clase and Ortiz had their lockers cleaned out and cleared out. And now they won 5 or 6 cents in a huge sweep on the road of the Mets.
By the way, tie that in with the Tigers getting absolutely blasted today by the Twins.
Flaherty again. Awful.
So do you want to get absolutely nuts and bet a no price on the Tigers in that division?
Only up 6 games now.
That's it.
Down to 6.
There's a lot of baseball left, by the way. It doesn't seem like we have that much baseball left, but we do.
Yep.
How about a Tigers ticket to miss the playoffs in the American League?
Oh, no, that's aggressive.
If you want to get absolutely crazy.
Get nuts, huh?
Because if the Guardians were to overtake them and win the division, the path is absolutely there for them to miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Cleveland plus 320 to make it. Detroit plus 175 to get the 1 seed. But suddenly, like Mets are 5-1 to miss. Cubs are 10-1. Several people reached out yesterday to us on X and said, now the schedule's easy. But the Cubs are 10-1 to miss.
Well, I got to say this. They kind of had to have this game today because it was not an easy pitching matchup, although Cade Horton was awesome for the Cubs. It was going against Andrew Abbott. Abbott's been phenomenal this year, and the Cubs are just fading like a rock here, dropping like a rock, whatever the saying is, in that division against the Brewers here. Brewers have been the hottest team in baseball. Cubs are now way back in that division compared to what they were 2 weeks ago.
The Cubs had a 6.5 game lead when Milwaukee ran off this 30-9 run.
There you go.
Milwaukee now with a 4-game lead.
And the Cubs did get to Abbott today a little bit. Yeah. He was game. They just yanked him from it, actually, and the Cubs do lead by a score of 3-0 there. But your big boy is going on right now in Texas, bottom of the 5th. The Yankees have to have this game. They needed a gem from Rodon. The Yankees lead Texas right now 2-1. They got the lighter. He was yanked after 3 1/3 innings pitched. But after last night and what happened again with Eovaldi completely shutting them down and being completely masterful yet again, his season-long ERA is 1.38, which is unheard of. More on that coming up a little bit later on in the program. But they have to hang on to this game. Once they go to the bullpen, assuming that they can have the lead here for a little while and turn it over, these guys can't fall on their faces again.
Nope.
You made all these moves at the deadline to make a run here, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, but it's a definition of insanity. Why you keep bringing Williams in?
That's a great question.
What do you think's going to happen?
I know.
Oh, maybe go get him, kid. You'll get him this time. Oh, more runs. Oh, blew another save. Oh, okay, great. Right? But the offense didn't help him out last night. It was all Eovaldi. But again, that's a scoreless game in the bottom of the 8th, and Texas gets the big hit. If they win this game and get the broom out, the Yankees, for the first time all year, will be out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox win again. That's 14 of 15 at home. That's a 20-4 run at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really have a gap now between themselves and the Yankees as well. So it's
well, this is going to be a fun one to track today during the show. Do you know how much juice there's going to be in all of this here if the Yankees lose this game? Again, they lead 2-1. By the way, have you heard Matt Euman's new nickname for Aaron Boone?
What is it?
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy?
Because he just sits there in the dugout, at the top of the dugout, blowing bubbles with his gum the entire time.
Uh-huh.
I like it. Matt's become elite at giving nicknames.
Yes.
He's phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
And I think he...
Sunbelt Billy?
Oh, that was really good.
That was a good one.
But even like with guests that are on the program, I know Chuck the Iceman Edel is great, but that goes back a long time. But he's got something for everyone.
Oh,
He Jensen Lewis is the machine gun because he has so many bets. Spittin' Mad, Chris Massaro. It's really, really like the catalog that he's come up with here is really solid.
Good, yeah. They're $2, and the total's 6.5 now. As Texas comes to bat in the bottom of the fifth. Yankees up to 215, retired the first batter.
Rodon's pitch count is in the mid-60s right now.
Okay.
So at some point here, they're going to have to turn it over to the pen, and it's going to break down to what Boone's decision is going to be here, if I can speak English. And at that point, this Texas team, by the way, they have proven that they're not out of these games at all. I mean, go back to game 1 of the series here, when it appeared to be dead for them a couple of times, and it wasn't, and they got to that Yankees bullpen. So, but it's also like not just the Yankees we're talking about here. Texas, they need these games too because of where they're at in the standings. Like you said, a half a game back of the Yankees. They win this game, first time all year, Yankees out. Yep. But don't look now, Guardians on their heels as well. And the Mariners are playing great ball, and they have a very easy schedule to go along with it. Now, isn't that something, the run that Brian Wu was on? He did it again last night.
Yep.
7 strong innings last night, so he has recorded at least 18 outs in every single, what do you say, longest since Kershaw?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
Have you noticed road teams are crushing it lately? Road teams were phenomenal last night, and the road team's 4-0 today. It'd be 6-1 if the current scores hold, what road teams are doing.
Okay.
Well, that's been funky.
Well, I will give you this. Do you remember that run that we had recently in the NHL playoffs where we did not have one-score games at all? And Jonathan Davis was saying if you're betting both teams to win on the puck line, you're winning money.
Yeah, he was incredible, right? And I know a guy who used to do that, where he was doing it with baseball. And my comeback is like, that's dangerous. You get if it's 2-1 final, you lose both bets.
Of course.
But he was like, I want to take the plus 190 and the plus $2, whatever it is, if the dog wins, and you just got to hope and pray it doesn't fall one.
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend this. However, Robert from Michigan has been tracking this for a couple of weeks now. To give you an example from yesterday alone, 15 games, right? If you bet every team on the run line, that means 30 bets. There was only one run game. That was it. 14 tickets cashed, and 5 of the run line winners were the underdog. So yesterday alone, doing that strategy would have been up 11 units. Now, again, you can lose every game, and then it's like, that was fun while it lasted. But this has been going on for a minute. He's been tracking it for, I think, at least 2 weeks because we've had so many kind of like blowouts now, or games that are not competitive, not one-run games. I mean, look at the Padres game last night. It goes to the 10th. They bring in Mason Miller with a 5-3 lead.
I know.
Right? 104-mile-an-hour fastball, yanked out at 107 miles an hour, tie ball game. It goes to the 10th. They score 5 runs. And then every outrun cashes for that team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me give you some trends, by the way, to keep an eye on. We love talking about this stuff throughout the entire year. Games that are over with today. Giants, Pirates. Ray went over his prop of 6.5 strikeouts. Lefties are now 17-8 over their K prop against Pittsburgh on the season. Opposing pitchers are now on a 14-1 under run their K prop against the Giants, Pauly. Haney had 1 strikeout today.
Oh, wow.
14-1 last 15 under against the Giants. Orioles, Phillies. Suarez only had 3, stayed way under. Opposing starters on a 14-3 underrun against Baltimore. Meanwhile, we'll flip it. Rogers went over 5.5 for Baltimore. That is now 17-2 over last 19 games against Philadelphia. It's a cash cow with some of this stuff.
Great numbers.
Opposing lefties are now 23-12 on the year against the Guardians. Peterson went over 4.5 today in the game. Mm-hmm. And some of the props that were available on vsin.com today, they liked Abbott to go under. That's a winner. And I want to try to find one that they have for a game coming up tonight. I think it's starting right now. Shane Baz. There's a value they think on the over of Shane Baz strikeout over 5.5. And another game, the Dodgers game is starting right now. This is not at Ballpark Pal on vsin.com, but the Cardinals-Dodgers game. Liberatore is going for St. Louis. He's a lefty. Left-handed starters are 20-10-1 over the K-prop against the Dodgers on the year, and all pitchers overall are on a 19-4 overrun against the Dodgers. His prop 3.5 juice to the over.
Excellent. Very good. Different team, different lineup when Muncie's in there. And that's what Robert said after the game as well, as he gets a couple bombs. And why not play the Kurtz props every day as well? 3 for 4 last night. hitting .353 his last 50 games with 22 bombs and 55 RBIs. Number one in baseball OPS against righties.
Okay, so
Kid delivers every night.
You sent me over specifically a breakdown on the A's game tonight. There's a lot of information in there.
Huh?
Do you not want to bet like everything with the A's tonight?
Yeah.
Minus a half run in the first 5. Run line for the game. Team total over 4.5. This kid that the Nationals called up used to be a rookie phenom, but he's been up against it now for several years. Injuries coming back to. He was not great in AAA.
Well, he did come off the 16-run game yesterday, though.
I know.
It's but the Kurtz. I just take the safe way and go with the Kurtz props.
Yeah, true.
I mean, what he's doing.
But also look at the Nationals against the Brewers.
Yeah,
What they give up like 40 runs in that series or whatever it was.
That's right. Yep. And the Braves are favored against the Brewers.
Yep.
I don't care who's. I don't care if it's Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz who's throwing.
I know.
I mean, you're down 33 units on the Braves. That's worse than the Rockies. Think about that.
Don't you have to bet the Brewers, and if it loses, you're like, okay, I'm fine with that.
That's right. Become a winner. Get up to vsin.com right now. Replace that L. Put that W up there. You walk into any bar or club, you walk up to a girl, say, you, me, let's go. She'll say why, because of vsin.com. Get the betting guide. DiCaprio might call you. Michael Jordan might call you. It's that good. It's gold. That's how good the college football betting guide is. 186 pages. vsin.com. Join it now. Join us. $9.99. Full year. Save 50% off with the annual subscription. Every best bet, every host, every guest. And the morning email from Bill 80. Rest in peace, Don West.
You know that hot dime sitting at the bar waiting for somebody to come up and sweep her off her feet? She's going to say, tell me more about the AAC.
That's right.
We'll get into the NFL coming up next. Their starters are going to play in every preseason game.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
NFL preseason here as we're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. How about this now? From Tennessee head coach Brian Callahan, he announced that Cam Ward and the starters are going to play in every preseason game. He said for sure a series, maybe 2 in the preseason opener against the Buccaneers. That game is Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern. Buccaneers open a 0.5 point. Titans are now 4.5. We are going to have Chuck Edel, the reigning champion of the Circa Friday Night Football Invitational, on the show on Friday. He is awesome on the preseason. Last year, by the way, in that contest, what was he, 79 and 44 with a couple of pushes? I mean, he was just absolutely insane. We'll ask him about that, but also we'll ask him about these numbers if they're getting a little bit too far out of control here. I mean, as we documented on the show yesterday, the network here in general has been talking about these line moves. At some point, Pauly, you would think anyway, plus the points is going to be maybe a look in some of these, huh?
I don't know. No end in sight here.
Moving
I don't know.
4, 6, 7, 8 points, whatever it is.
Good stuff today from Mackinnon, vsin.com. When you got a line move of 3 points or more going back, it's almost 70%. So these are big. And it's like, again, who do you trust, right? Do you want any part of some of these quarterbacks? Like, did you want to see, can you still trust Detroit after what you saw in the Hall of Fame game? 3-point move on Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I want to have Detroit in that game.
Right. I trust the Raiders, though, and Pete Carroll. One team's playing people, the other team's not. Big move in that game. Cincinnati, 6-point move, 7-point move in the Colts game. You know, if you got there early, congrats. You can sit back and hope you get a middle job. But as of right now, to answer your question, no.
Okay, so
I don't want these teams that number one, I don't have the great number in my pocket, and number two,
you're right.
I'm not feeling confident with a Baltimore ticket, even +6, or a Seattle ticket +4.
Is that 70% to the closing number? I'm guessing that is. Not just if you grabbed it right away at the opener.
Yeah.
That's got to be to the closing number is my guess. And here's one that I'm pondering right now. And it's not for the preseason. It's a week 1 game. The week 1 schedule is phenomenal.
It's fire.
So this is the latest on Matthew Stafford. Several reporters tweeting about this today. He's dealing with an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Have you ever had the epidural for your back?
I've had 3 of them.
And?
I had it for my neck. The needle's as big as a hockey stick. It's quite the procedure. It was awesome. And I also had several injections and props and things to Dr. Stephen Gebhardt as well. And
it lasts for a long time?
Yeah, I swear by it. I think Dr. Gebhardt's phenomenal here in Las Vegas, Nevada Pain Care. So I had a bad problem with my neck. So between the injections and the epidural, which I went to a different spot before I knew Dr. Gebhardt, I think it's great.
Yeah.
But then again, I haven't worked since 1999. So to think that, okay,
you're
this
not
guy's
exactly taking shots from 300-pound defensive linemen 19 times a game.
Right.
So the Rams are calling him week to week. They're being cautious, but the plan is for him to be ready for week one. That's according to Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. So here's what I'm thinking. Honestly, are the Texans the worst team imaginable for the Rams to play in week one now with the back? With that front seven, with that defensive line that we're talking about? Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson coming around the edge and blasting him over and over and over again. The Rams are 2.5 at most shops, but you can grab 3 out there with some juice on the Texans. I just, right, a month out, I'm trying to envision what's going to happen here. And of all teams they had to get from the NFL in week one, it's not a soft defensive line. It's maybe the best. And so what if they're just a wrecking ball to that old line and they get to him? That's McVay makes it a point to keep going over and over and over again to the media. Well, we really love Jimmy G.
This is wild. Have you had it? Do you know what they do? They numb you up, and then they take out this huge needle and they shoot you, and they bring you in and take you out in a wheelchair, and you're not allowed to drive home.
Oh,
at least the one I had.
Do they knock you out?
So if this is that's the option. I said no. I did not take that option.
I've only had.
We're getting close to the season here.
I know.
And they're like, okay, we'll be good to go. See you week one. I'm not so sure.
I've had the nerves burnt in my neck several times to try, because that's the only, I've tried everything, right? The CBD, the BioFreeze, whatever it is on the neck. And I would tell you that most of it, I want to say that it works, but I've really found nothing that does. So this is a great tweet from JVT here on the network as well. When you look at coaches' records in the preseason, you brought up the Ravens, you don't want the points right now. Harbaugh in his career with Baltimore, he is 44-17 straight up, 40-21 ATS. And he was on that run where they covered, 24 straight games?
One. 24.
Okay. JVT's tweet, as a reminder, Harbaugh has been great in the preseason in his career. He also has not covered a preseason game since 2022. He added, my man doesn't give a rip about the meaningless games anymore, and the market was slow to catch up. I did not realize it's been 3 years. Mm-hmm. I would have guessed last year was the first year. It was the luster was off with the Ravens in the preseason. So I was wrong on the timeline there. But, and you pointed this out on the show yesterday, this was when you could bank on Baltimore's quarterback room.
Had a good rotation.
Oh, you could talk the backup, the third stringer, hell, even the fourth stringer sometimes. I want to bet on that guy in the preseason, and it worked out.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Huntley and other good backups they had, and then
the kid from Oregon was good for a little while.
It was always when in doubt, the guy could scramble, take off, and beat you with his legs. And so many times it's a busted play, and it's chaos in the fourth quarter, whether they don't know the offense or they're not on the same page, and the guy just takes off and runs. Mm-hmm. And that's why there's another reason why they kept winning games and covering spreads.
Other good coaches, ATS in the preseason, Pete Carroll, 28-20-1. I did play the under in that game, and I played it, and then I read Adam Burke's write-up at vsin.com. He has 3 plays right now that he likes on vsin.com, and he was also on the under, and we're kind of in sync on this game. And, the reports are that Seattle's defense way ahead of the offense at this point, and Carroll's probably going to want to just get out of there and run the football a lot, maybe in the second half. Maybe both teams will. And so 37.5 for a preseason total is kind of high anyway. So I played under 37.5 in that game. Mike Tomlin, 40-27 straight up, 36-30-1 ATS. Don't sleep on this. Sean McDermott is 15-9 straight up in the preseason. Now, with the Bengals, Zach Taylor is 3-12 straight up and ATS, but they've never given a rip about it, right? Mm-hmm. So now they've already, and they come out of the gate slowly in the preseason, the regular season as well. I think that might change this year. He announced that the guys are going to play. It's about time.
Yep.
McVay doesn't care. He's not great.
Never has.
Sirianni doesn't.
Although usually every Rams game is 31 or 32 with the total.
Yeah. And Dan Quinn, 7-17 straight up, 7-16-1 ATS in his career in the preseason
Oh, he was bad in Atlanta. I think they went 2-3 years without winning a game. Yep. Mm-hmm. Brutal. Man, we got big moves on the couple of Sunday game, too. The Saturday night, 7-point move. Denver's now laying 6 against the Niners. And a 3.5-point move on the total with Miami and Chicago. It could be a guy, Teddy Cover, said it could be a cluster bleep for the Bears out there. As you don't have all the offense installed yet and the new Johnson system, and then who's playing. It could be a ton of Austin Reed in that game and could look ugly. So 35.5 down to 32 with the total. Bears favored by 3.
I'm trying to think of the biggest contrarian plays to make this year in the NFL. I think Dolphins over their win total in a playoff team has to be one of them.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What if the offense just takes off this year? Warren Sharp had some great tweets yesterday on the overall narrative with Mike McDaniel and Tua and the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And he basically said the narrative is once Tua leaves the game and he's out for a while, Mike McDaniel has not made it work with backup quarterbacks. But he reversed it and said, how come nobody talks about Tua's numbers when he's healthy? He's like elite in all these advanced metrics, top 3 to top 5 in all of them. And what if he stays healthy? I mean, they still have the weapons. Hill's getting up there in age for sure. I'm not going to touch him this year in fantasy, I don't think. But Waddle is still like a serious threat, and I love Achane at running back. They don't have that difficult of a schedule. It's not exactly.
Sure, yeah. If you're not buying the Patriots, yeah,
right.
That's a path.
That's why I think Bills Dolphins is the 1-2 exacta there at plus 290 at DraftKings is. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah,
and they can go to Indy and win in week 1. They get the Patriots at home in week 2. That team can't start 2-0. You know, at the Bills and a quick turnaround on Thursday night is going to be obviously very difficult. But Jets, Panthers, Chargers at home in the heat. At Cleveland, they absolutely have winnable games on that schedule. Mm-hmm. Now, the key is here, Tua has to stay healthy for the entire year, and that might not be the easiest ask in the world.
No doubt. Going to be fun. Mm-hmm. That's favorites flipped in that game, too. Colts are now favored in that game.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be potentially Anthony Richardson in week 1. Mm-hmm. If he wins the starting job, okay. I don't trust him to go get me a cup of coffee.
I know. They're going to have to stop people, though, too. That's the thing. Miami aren't be able to score, but I want to see what they can do defensively as well.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Ben Stevens on the program coming up next. He'll be hosting shows on VSiN during the football season. We'll talk college ranks with him coming up. We'll get some win totals, a conference winner, and a week 1 game as well next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly, we'll talk some college football here, get some win totals, a conference winner, a week 1 game as well, as Ben Stevens joins the program, formerly a host on Sports Grid, but now has signed on here with VSiN. He's going to be hosting here on the network during the football season. Sports Grid is no longer on SiriusXM. VSiN is the only network now where you can get sports betting news and information, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Ben, good to talk to you. Welcome to the network. How are you?
Doing very well, guys. Thank you for having me. Excited to be working with you guys, along with the very talented team at VSiN throughout the entirety of college football season. College football is my passion. I'm ecstatic to get the opportunity to share that knowledge, and I hope what comes off as expertise with the loyal audience following throughout the football season.
Very cool. It's so close now, you can almost sniff it. And let's begin with a win total here. We've had a handful of people in the summer, the offseason here, come on the show or send in like emails saying, hey, guys, you might want to grab a big number on Georgia Tech to win the ACC. More on that coming up a little bit later on in that conference. You're not going to go that far with the Ramblin' Wreck, but you like their win total over 7.5. Tell us why.
Yeah, I absolutely do, because when you look at how this team is structured, what they have done in the 2.5 seasons under Brent Key, they have been a feisty underdog in the last 2 years, where in Brent Key's 34 total games as the head coach of the Bees, they've been booked as an underdog 21 times, guys. They're 15-6 against the spread with 11 outright victories. That is the most outright wins booked as a dog at the FBS level since the start of the 2022 campaign. But this year for Georgia Tech, they might not be an underdog all that frequently as they have the third easiest schedule in the ACC. They've got 65% of the production from a season ago back there in Atlanta. And anytime you have that consistency and congruency of head coach and namely quarterback, that's where I like to start, and that's where I dive in. The backfield Haynes of Haynes King, the quarterback, and Jamal Haynes, the running back, they were able to fend off some suitors in the transfer portal for the talented wide receiver in Malik Rutherford. They added Eric Rivers, who posted more than 1,200 receiving yards last year at FIU. And really defensively last year, guys, such a staunch improvement from one of the worst rushing defenses in the country in 2023 to a top 30 unit. And they bring back so much production on that defensive side of the ball. So I love the Yellow Jackets over 7.5 wins for the 2025 college football campaign.
All right, excellent. Very good. I'm with you on this one as well. How about Oklahoma over 6.5? I played 7.5 plus money. What do you think? A big year for Oklahoma?
Yeah, I got the 6.5 earlier in the summer. Pretty hefty juice on the over. Now, a lot of times that has moved up to 7.5 with some juice on that under. But frankly, I still like the look on the Sooners. Again, Brent Venables in a prove-it year after a disappointing 6-win campaign and the upset loss to Navy in their bowl game as well. So he went out and understood what the mission was this offseason, guys, and that was get so much better on the offensive side of the ball. They bring in Ben Arbuckle, the talented and young offensive coordinator from Washington State. Following Arbuckle to Norman is John Mateer. 44 total touchdowns last year, 29 through the air, 15 on the ground. The only FBS quarterback with 20 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns. He's an absolute gamer. And yes, the SEC experience and the SEC challenge is going to be exactly that for Mateer and this Oklahoma offense in 2025. But that's going to be a substantial improvement. Third most difficult schedule in the conference. Of course, it is always going to be a gauntlet within the SEC. But defensively, I thought we saw some really positive things out of that Venables side. When you look at the numbers, just in terms of what they allowed, around 21.5 points per game, more than 310 yards of total offense to their opposition, it's not overwhelmingly elite or top of the top in the SEC. But when you dive in a little further, with the onus on that Oklahoma defense last year and how often they were on the field, the snap count for the Sooners throughout the regular season, they really did a great job of containing what could have been a lot worse. So I think the defense takes another step under the bright defensive mind of Brent Venables, and I'll take Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer each and every day there leading that offensive side in Norman. So I go the over 6.5 wins, but I do think this could be an 8-win football team this year for the Sooners.
Yeah.
Very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Ben Stevens, he's on the Progressive Guest Line. We're talking college football here, getting some best bets for him for the upcoming season. We've been told like both sides here on Illinois. Some people like the over, others like the under. They're not buying what happened late last year down the stretch. Which side of the fence here are you going to fall on with the Illini?
Yeah, I'm over the 7.5. It's moved up to 8.5 at a lot of spots, and I think that starts to show the trend of a team, guys, that was ranked 12th in the coaches poll this past Monday. And when we get the AP preseason poll this upcoming Monday around noon Eastern time, I would expect a top 5 billing for the Illinois Fighting Illini as well. Now, this was a team I was very high on entering the bowl game against South Carolina as a result of all they brought back in the 2 weeks following that bowl victory against the Gamecocks to bring back such talented players like the quarterback in Luke Altmaier, some all Big Ten performers. J.C. Davis on the offensive side, Gabe Akis, one of the best edge rushers in the conference, Xavier Scott, who was really top of the Big Ten last year in terms of taking the ball away in his safety spot. I was fully in. I'm sure you've all seen the numbers, 17 or 18 key returning starters back in Champaign this year, 75% returning production this season, fourth most at the FBS level, the most in the Big Ten Conference. So I've been in on Illinois since the end of April on that over 7.5. I really do think, based on the slate for the Illini in 2025, as I see it, the second easiest schedule in the Big Ten. I like to chart win totals of opponents to get an idea of the expectation of the sides each and every team is going to see throughout the entirety of a season. Illinois has the second easiest, and I think it is very favorable for the Illini to take advantage. So, guys, where it falls on Illinois now, they're a team that has so much hype and optimism behind them. They've almost become that public, ooh, who's that team that could do something we haven't seen them do in nearly 2+ decades? I still think Illinois can do that because I think the Illini can get to 10 wins. And if you're talking about a 10-2 Big Ten team, you're talking about a college football playoff contender. So if the over 7.5 or the over 8.5 feels a little bit juicy, let's take it a step further. Plus 540 for Brett Bielema to lead Illinois to the college football playoff could be a way to build up on some of that optimism for the Illini this season.
That'd be incredible. Okay, I don't trust Miami. I like SMU, but that's still 9-1 in that range. I'm not there with Louisville. It's popular, but why not? You got plus 140 down to even now. Clemson to win the ACC. You think it's a runaway?
I do really think that Clemson will have a great opportunity to be in that ACC championship game. And ultimately, I think this Clemson side, guys, has its sights set not on just a ninth conference championship in the ACC in the last 11 seasons, but a national championship like they accomplished in 2016 and 2018. This Clemson side offensively, so much better last year under Garrett Riley than it was in years prior. When you think about this Clemson run, 8 ACC crowns in the last decade, really the stalwart has been that defense the entirety of the time. In 7 of the 9 previous years, we're talking about a Clemson defensive side that was top 10 in the country in terms of total defense, yardage allowed to its opposition, and a top 15, top 20 side when it came to giving up points, never more than 22 points per game. The issue for the Tigers last year, not just to be that upstart team in the ACC title game that pulled the upset against SMU to get to the college football playoff once again, was on that defensive side of the ball. They were atrocious defending the run, more than 160 yards per game, 4.7 yards per pop on the ground to the opposing side. The worst for Clemson since 1975 as a program. So enter Tom Allen, who is a very bright defensive coordinator last year, of course, working there in Happy Valley for Penn State, and a lot of returning talent up front, Peter Woods, TJ Parker, and you have a guy that I like in the backfield as well, in Avion Terrell, who I think is one of the best defensive backs in the country, certainly in the ACC. Trust the offense for Clemson. They had 11 preseason picks for the all-ACC team in 2025. I think Clemson does run away with the ACC championship game. It will not be easy. 4th most difficult schedule in that conference. And again, if I think Clemson is playing in the ACC championship, either earning one of those automatic bids to the college football playoff or a resume that is stout enough to earn an at-large spot if they were to lose in that conference championship game, I do think Clemson has a lot of value in the national championship market as well, outside of the heavy hitters of Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, and Penn State.
Very good. Ben, about a minute left here. Week 1 game. Utah plays in L.A. against UCLA. You think the Utes put the screws here to the Bruins?
I do, and I love that game, 11 p.m. Eastern time, absolute sicko ending to the Week 1 Saturday slate. I think Utah is going to be really good this year after a disappointing 5-win season. That is not what Kyle Whittingham does. They have returned so much talent on both sides of the ball in terms of what the staple has been for the Utes in the 22 seasons now under Whittingham in Salt Lake. Offensive line, defensive line, check. That's going to be great. And then Devin Dampier, the quarterback transfer from New Mexico, I think as good as you will find and could be one of the top 3 or 5 best quarterbacks in the Big 12 this season. I think Utah is going to at least cover the 6.5. If you can keep it under a touchdown, albeit on the road against this Bruins side, I would jump in on the Utes now. Guys, I'm not trusting of Nico Iamaleava based on what I saw in his first year in Knoxville. I'm not so sure how that carries over this season to Westwood and, of course, in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl.
I don't blame you. You can follow Ben on X. He is at Ben Scott Stevens, now a member of VSiN, going to be hosting shows during the football season. Great to talk to you, Ben. Nice meeting you. Thanks for the time today. We appreciate that.
Mitch, Paul, I appreciate it. Very happy to be here at VSiN and look forward to working with you guys throughout this college football season.
Back at you.
Thank you.
There you go. And he was on the Progressive Guest Line. Ben was a host on Sports Grid. Sports Grid no longer on Sirius XM. VSiN, the only network where you can get sports betting news, info, picks on Sirius XM. Win, lose, up next. We'll dive into the AFC South. On paper, one side of the ball should be able to enforce their will on every opponent inside this division.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Fireworks when we got off the air yesterday. The A's erupted in the top of the first and didn't stop. Most runs, 20-1. for the A's and highest scoring game, A's Nats 11-1. Will a team score 15 plus runs? Yes, plus 350. Will there be 22 plus runs scored in a game? That cashes 5-1. There was a shutout. Fun to track. Yep. So that plus 450 no good yesterday. Tough. If results hold, road teams will start 7-1 today. Wow. And they were excellent yesterday as well. Sky, Chicago finally wins a game, plus 185. Fever Sparks over. 172.5 up to 179. The Sparks are good. They're fun. They've scored 100 points 4 of the last 5 games. And Plum was great.
What else happened in that game?
The Jags. Coming up with Mike Palm. I'm sure he'll have it. And you cannot be serious. Liberty. I put it under Winsome, but that from 7 up to 11 fell 9. So more bad for the books. Red Sox 14-1 last 15 at home. And Maximum Metallica. Metallica will have their own channel on Sirius XM. And to celebrate, there'll be a concert late August.
It only took till 2025?
What the hell? Yeah. What? Come on.
We were calling for that, 15 years ago minimum?
Ridiculous. No kidding. And according to Roger Goodell, after this deal that ESPN gets the red zone, he says ESPN has the capabilities to have college football red zone. That's according to Goodell.
Well, I love the idea. People who are coming out quickly and saying, hold on here, do you think Fox is going to be willing to say, here you go, ESPN, you can have the final 2 minutes on the red zone of Ohio State and Penn State? Like, how is that going to work? Will it only be ESPN games? Other networks going to say, screw you, no chance?
I don't know.
And by the way, there's a lot of negativity about how the red zone's going to go to ESPN and they're going to completely botch it. Charchian read the comments after this was announced last night. He tweeted out like 99% of them were negative, like they're going to screw it up.
Okay.
I'm going to go the complete opposite
much
side.
like inside the NBA.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other side here.
Okay.
I know I'm the Lone Ranger on this. I know I am. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a way to make the red zone 10 times better. I don't think the red zone's great.
Amen, brother.
I think it's completely overrated.
They wait way too long.
The NFL Network, whomever doing it, right? They had so many chances to make it better, and they never did. They're always on the same game.
They stick on the same game.
They're hold on here. Let's go to Pittsburgh. What's going to happen? That happened 6 minutes ago.
Yep.
Don't lie to us. And my God, you can go to the double box, the triple box, or the quad box all day long. They refuse to do it.
Yep.
So I'm going to have faith that ESPN actually makes it better.
Good job. Good job. That's right. Get that negativity out of here. Well said. It is overrated, and they do a bad job from time to time. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Good compilation here of dogs bringing home other animals. Is that a mountain lion? What is that thing?
It looks like a baby mountain lion. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the bear. Dog brings the bear home. Hey, how you doing?
Well,
look at this.
They look like brothers.
Yeah, right. Comes in. Huh? Yeah. And this got a koala on his back.
A koala bear?
Look at that. Yes. Is that a golden retriever? Got a koala. Here he's got like an iguana or something in his mouth. What he brought home?
Careful there, big guy.
Yeah, that's right. And who's coming in here?
What is that, a donkey?
I don't know what that is. It was a cow or a pig. Yeah, I couldn't see that one. That he brought home a rat. The dog brought home a rat. Here's another one. What's he got? I don't know. Rabbit. Oh, he's got the big rabbit in his mouth. Merry Christmas. Sure. And then what are you going to encounter here when you open the door? I think this one's a deer. There you Bambi came home.
Come on
hey,
in,
buddy.
Bambi.
Look at that.
Nothing bad could happen to Bambi.
Uh-huh. Excellent. Right? That's excellent. So good. These dogs are creative, and they're friendly. You never know who you're going to bring home. Love this compilation. Awesome. What do we got here, Luke? Dogs barking. Oh, good. The laziest fight ever. It's an argument where they're both laying down on the deck. It just
nose to nose,
just barking at each other. Yeah, I'm sick of you. Well, I'm sick of you too, right? Look at that.
Don't take my toy again.
Yeah, right. Just barking at each other, and they're both sitting there, nose to nose. That's incredible. Lose some. The Fever, +1 to -2.5. Again, Sparks on a great run. What they're doing. They're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. That Jackson gal's been awesome,
too. She's really good, yeah.
Liberty Wings over 169.5 up to 176.5. No good. Storm Lynx under 159.5 to 156. That exploded late. Sun Mercury over. 164.5 up to 170. All big moves. No dice. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't follow the market. They help shape it. You're not going to outmuscle billion-dollar books or full-time sharps all by yourself. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Backed by advanced AI, connected to trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers kind of edge serious bettors count on every day. Free reports, alerts, and market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X feed. He's been doing it since 2011. Jeff and the crew been with Follow the Money since day one. And the awesome Mr. Poison t-shirts and tweets. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts, sharpplays.com. Trusted by the pros, watched by the books. Sharpplays.com. Go there now and stay ahead of the line.
God, Pauly, you know this, you ever heard of the Shohei Ohtani kid in L.A.?
Oh, he did it again?
What a thorn in my side he is.
Oh, wow.
5 strikeouts on the mound today through 3 innings, and he just jacked a 2-run shot.
And we've seen big movement in the last couple of days as well. Before the game, he was down to $4 at DraftKings to win the MVP. Schwarber plus 350.
Mm-hmm. Wow, plus 350, by the way. Completely plummeted. I think he was 15-1 last week.
Yeah.
Well, if that, so when he was taken out last start, only a cramp, that's obviously true at this point. And if nothing's wrong there from a pitching standpoint, yeah, I'm up against it there.
Yeah. Man, no problems for Toronto and Coors. It's been batting practice. They won 15-1, 10-4 last night, and it's 10-1 in the 6th right now, still batting.
Yeah, by the way, that total was 11.5 today. Over was even money. It was Freeland going.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that one either.
Right? I mean, that's lower than what it was earlier in the series. I didn't, 11.5 felt like it was definitely short in that spot. Other games right now, Yankees 3-2, bottom of the 7th.
Goldschmidt went deep in the 7th. Yeah,
okay.
Tough one.
And Houston with a 2 spot in the 1st. They lead the Marlins by a score of 2-0. Christian Walker, the 2-run shot. So here's what I was talking about before the break. As we discussed the AFC South here multiple times throughout today's program, I'm looking at unit rankings in Warren Sharp's NFL preview book. The front 7 for the Texans, he has them 5th overall in the entire league. If you just rank defensive lines, they might be higher than that, probably are. Look at the O-lines in this division. Mind you, the Texans are rated as the worst offensive line in football, but that's not the point here. If they have that good of a front 4 and a front 7, the Titans, per Sharp's numbers, 19th best offensive line, Colts 21st, Jags 25th. Won't this defense, Mike Somich was on the program on Monday, he power rates this defense better than Denver's. He thinks they're the best in football.
Mm-hmm.
These O-lines and the quarterback play here in this division, they're up against it. It may be a really long year against this awesome defense.
I see it the same way, that Houston wins the division. Houston, I mean, you had that bad season for Stroud.
Yeah, what if he turns it around again?
Yeah, and they still won a playoff game and had Kansas City on the ropes. So you're right about that defense. And the way I played the exacta, which is if it comes Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, Tennessee is 9-1. If it's Houston, Colts, Jacksonville, Titans, it's 12-1. I think the one thing I'd be concerned about would be if the Colts could be a last place team.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but I think that's how it's finished. Still, you want to see improvement out of the Titans, and you want to blame Levis. We've talked about that. And still, it's a rookie quarterback, and you don't know what you're going to have out of Ward. I still think it's Houston 1, Tennessee last place. Very confident with that. And maybe Jacksonville could be a playoff team. But I think it goes Houston, Jacksonville, Colts, Titans.
The exact 1-2 order, just to cut it in half. Texans, Jags, 1-2 plus 450. I like it.
That's good.
By the way, the Colts division wins number, 2.5 over minus 170. Minus 170, they're going to get 3 wins inside this division. Under 2.5 is plus 140.
I could see it.
You can see them going over?
Yeah. They could sweep Tennessee and grab one.
Oh, I can go the other way. Yeah. I can easily see them winning 1 or 2 games in the division. Yeah. Because I think the quarterback room there could absolutely be just god-awful.
When you say something like that, I immediately have to look at Week 18, and they play Houston. What does it mean for them?
Sure. It could go either way, right? They might have a playoff spot locked up. Division is already in the bag, or they could be fighting for seeding.
Yeah. You were going to say something, Sharp?
Sharp has the Colts quarterback room 29th in football.
Yikes.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Up next here, it's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. The Meat Man's going to join the program. Steve Wiss will give, there you go, best bets in soccer. Find out what he likes next.